Welcome back. Today on Black Belt Tips, is martial arts a sport? Is it fighting? Is it a hobby? Also, we found the end of the internet. I'll see you in a minute. All right, guys, I am back. This is Bill Jones, head instructor, top-level martial arts, co-host of Black Belt Tips, black belt under Master Pedro Sauer. With me, as always, my friend, my co-host, cohort friend. What else should we call you?
Compadre.
Comrade. Figure out any synonym that goes with those, and also add slightly above novice in all things, Mr. Edward Whitney. How you doing, Ed?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
Glad to see you, man. Glad to see you. Came off a very strong podcast last week with Dan Arnold.
Yeah. Enjoyed that.
Super fun time. You feeling better? You were pretty sick last
A little
time.
bit. My voice is still a little beaten.
Whack. Yeah, but that's because you were yelling at people outside.
Well, that's a little different.
You were like, hey, kids, get off my lawn. Right? Wasn't that you?
It was more, hey, I got to go to work. Can I please pull into this parking deck?
Yeah, so I don't know why most of you would know this, but Cuyahoga Falls is all torn up right now with construction. It's still beautiful. It's going to be amazing when they're done with it, but it is really making life a challenge from time to time as far as traffic goes and things of that nature. So Ed took it upon himself to just yell at the construction workers for no reason yesterday.
It was definitely the opposite of that.
Oh.
They took it upon themselves to yell at me, and I just chose to yell back. That's all it was.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So they were like, hey, you guy, get off our construction lawn. And you were like, no, you can't make me.
It was more like, hey, I'm sorry, but I have no other option to get to the other side. This is my only choice. I have to be to work just like you do.
Why'd the Ed cross the road? Because
he has a job to do. Exactly. Yeah. But the end result is going to be amazing. You and I took a little walk just around the area.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Currently, it stinks.
So we found the end of the internet. And by we, I mean you.
Yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
What now? Explain to everybody what you typed in.
So I typed in the news today.
On
Google.
Okay.
Into my Google search
bar. Let me
bar.
see if I can duplicate this, because that can't possibly happen. So let's see here. I'm on Google.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to type in the news today. And I got plenty of results.
That's what one would expect on Google. I would expect, what is that, in the trillions? 1,170 billion, some odd million.
Yeah, it's a lot of
results.
A lot of options.
I typed in the same thing and got nothing matched your search.
Oh, look, there's people who hate President Trump and people who love President Trump. Okay.
Let
me see if I can.
And then the rest of us who are like, he's probably just like the rest of them. He's just a guy in the office today.
It's very clicky keyboard. Yeah, it's still the same. I tried two different ways.
That's weird. Yeah.
I don't know, man. You found the end of the internet. It was on your phone.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Everybody, the internet ends on Ed's phone.
That's the edge of it?
That's where it is.
The World Wide Web ends right there.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's in Cuyahoga Falls. Oh, hey, guys. Anyway, that's a topic. The end of the internet.
Yep.
Pretty much done with that topic, though.
Yeah, now that we can't duplicate the results.
Yeah, I mean, now everybody's going to go, the thousands and thousands and thousands of people who follow us. Millions who follow us are going to go type in the news today, and they're going to be really disappointed.
Because they're going to get news.
Yeah, they're going to, write us and be like, fake.
You're a fraud.
blackbelttips@gmail.com. Write us, let us know how fake Ed is.
Yeah, for lying.
Yeah, for lying. Lying to you about the end of the internet.
Yeah. So what was your main topic you wanted to get in today? Sport versus fighting?
Well, I mean, that was just a topic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we have a main one today.
Yeah, we never do.
That actually reminds me, we also started doing, I started doing, we're calling Black Belt Tips mini podcasts.
Well, that first one was really cool.
Yeah, and basically what I'm doing is it's more like black belt mindsets and things that, and I say black belt because that's like the cream of the crop in martial arts, right? Or supposed to be like I get it. There's different levels and stuff, whatever. But you get what I'm saying. But in reality, what I mean is, what do people who are successful do that other people don't? Like what kind of things? And yesterday the topic was just finding a way to get things done. Like
do it.
Just because people say you can't doesn't mean you have to listen to them.
Yeah.
You know, or just because they didn't do it doesn't mean you can't. You know,
Yep.
find a way to say yes and get things done. And so, you know, it's on YouTube. We're going to upload it to iTunes and everything as well. So,
Oh, are you? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I mean, it's just a little 5-minute ditty. So
Awesome.
just something for people to listen to.
Just a little something.
Yeah. So if you're interested, you know, tune into that. Go to what is our YouTube channel? I always forget. We never really even talk about it, do we?
Yeah, I forgot we even had such a thing.
Yeah, we're on there, youtube.com. And, you know, you go to youtube.com and type in, I believe, just Top Level Jiu-Jitsu. Yep, Top Level Jiu-Jitsu, JIU-JITSU. Make sure to put that dash in there. So
Okay.
that's our YouTube channel.
Sweet.
And I think if you search for Black Belt Tips, you'll find us as well. Let me see. I could be wrong. It's probably going to bring up like a million different things. Oh, no, we're number 1.
There we are.
Number 1, number 2. Yeah, you'll find us.
Okay, cool.
So, there you go.
Sweet.
We're number 1 and 2 out of a million results. How about that? In case someone randomly types Black Belt Tips.
Nice. I like it.
Number 1 on there is the Blue Belt Blues.
Man, I actually discovered that even applies to kids who just have blue on their belt.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
One of my first students that I had taught, you know, earned her white belt with the blue stripe, quit the next day. I was like,
yeah.
oh no, it even transfers to children.
Yeah.
It's that blue belt curse.
Yeah, that's little grapplers.
Yeah, little tiny kids.
Anyway, so what else we got? We got some UFC news that happened, right? What happened in the UFC? Well, we'll get back to the sport versus fighting versus hobbies.
Well, more
We'll
what I
save
wanted
that.
to talk about is what's coming up.
Oh, okay. What's coming up?
The return of GSP.
Really?
Yeah, George Rush
Who's he
St.
fighting?
Pierre, Michael Bisping.
Oh God, it's like two elderly people in the ring.
I mean, he's still the champ.
Who?
Bisping.
Is he?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. He knocked
What
out
about
Luke
our history
Rockhold.
together would make you think I knew that?
I mean, I figured a guy like even it's Michael Bisping. You know what I mean? You know who he is, right?
Yeah, vaguely.
What country
I remember
is he
him.
from?
England, right?
Yeah, so you know who he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he and I are buddies.
Hang out.
Yeah. I mean, we chill. We were just hanging last night.
Yeah.
Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill.
I don't think that means what
Couple
you
of
think it
shirtless
means.
dudes just watching movies, man. You got a problem with that?
Wow. It got interesting today. Yeah, so the last time I saw him, he was getting beat up by Dan Henderson probably about 7 years ago. So
Okay, so he came back, won the belt, avenged that loss.
Against whom?
Luke Rockhold,
Okay.
who's... I just can't figure out what's going on with that guy. He's so uber talented. He's got every skill
He's got
needed.
an odd name. That's probably part of it.
Luke?
Luke Rockhold.
Sounds like a character.
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
what I mean.
Like some badass in a movie.
Yeah,
That's
he's trying to
Luke
figure out
Rockhold.
who he is.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
But he's Bisping took the title, beat Dan Henderson to revenge that loss. I think he's had one more fight, but now he's fighting GSP to defend the belt.
Okay.
Yeah,
So why does GSP get the title shot?
yeah. I don't know. It really bothers me too. Took like a 4-year hiatus.
I mean, I get it that he won it many times and he was the champ for a while, but
I don't know. I feel like you kind of gotta.
it's never like he was so dynamic and so amazing to watch. Although people loved watching him for
Yeah,
some reason,
lots of
and then they all complained about it.
Yeah, a lot of
Like everybody would
people
be like, "Oh, you gotta watch the GSP fight tonight,"
Lay
and
and
they'd be
pray.
like, "They'd be like, all they did was lay on the guy. He took him
Lay
down
and
and
pray.
laid on him." Like that. What did you think would change?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it worked for him for years.
And this is coming from two guys who love grappling.
Yeah.
He just-
Well, but he doesn't even really grapple per se as much as take you down and hold
hold
you.
you.
And get throw in a couple body shots and a headshot. He doesn't
Just-
really try
just
to pass
enough
the
to
guard.
not get stood
doesn't
up.
really.
Yep.
It's not like he's trying to out jiu-jitsu you,
Or
that's
even
what we
out wrestle
want.
you. He's just holding you.
Yeah, he's good at the takedown.
Yeah, believe it or not, I believe George St. Pierre is the favorite in that fight
That's amazing.
from Vegas.
I mean, they're both. How old are they?
That's a great question.
Yeah, Google it. Not slam things on the.
Sorry. How old is George St. Pierre?
George St. Pierre is 36 years old.
He's not that old.
36. I'm older than him, but I mean that's pretty old to be getting in the ring. These
How old is Michael Bisping? How old is Michael Bisping?
Come on, Google.
Oh, this
Your Google machine broke, huh?
found the end of the internet again.
Dude, you sound tired. You sound exhausted.
No, it's just my voice.
You've been up all night, huh?
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah.
I was up real late. He's 38.
38.
Yeah.
That's pretty old to be in the ring. It's pretty old to be, but I mean, he's champ, so what are you going to do?
I mean, winning and
good for him.
Yeah. I honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen. A guy's been out 4 years.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
For all
what
you
to
know,
expect.
he may be like a flying submission specialist now.
Yeah, he might just come back with a new bucket of skills that we never anticipated.
He always was an amazing athlete.
Yeah, he was. He was.
I mean, you got to give him credit.
Yep.
How's Bisping's takedown defense? Because that's really
It's really good.
George St. Pierre is amazing at takedowns.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the fight.
Yeah.
I mean, Bisping's takedown defense is really, really, really good, but George St. Pierre's taken down everybody he's ever fought, I think. I can't think of anybody who ever shut him down.
Since he lost to Hughes years and
Yeah.
years ago. After that, he was like, "Oh, I should learn this wrestling stuff," and then he went and out wrestled all the Olympic wrestlers in Canada and came back.
Yep. So that's what I mean. He may come back with a whole new skill set.
That's awesome.
Who knows?
Good for them. I mean, I'm surprised that that's happening, but good for them.
And then the fight on that card I'm really looking forward to is local legend Cody Garbrandt.
Oh yeah, straight out of East Liverpool.
Yeah. Maybe it's right in that area.
Yeah, he's
down
out of
that
East
way.
Liverpool.
Yeah. And he's fighting TJ Dillashaw.
Oh.
Do you know who he is?
Nope.
No? Okay. Well, give you a little history
I've
on
heard
what
the
happened.
name.
Okay, what happened? Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw both used to train with Uriah Faber. You know who he is, the California kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he actually beat. Oh gosh, now the name's going to slip my mind. But anyway, Pedro Sauer black belt in the cage years ago.
Oh, okay, cool.
God, why can't I remember his name? We're bringing him in next year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but they both used to train together. TJ Dillashaw abandoned the team, so there's lots of beef, lots of So it should be an exciting fight.
Oh, that's good.
We always root for the local guys.
Yeah, well, for sure. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean,
exactly.
If they win, I win, right? Isn't that how it goes?
No, but
Are you sure?
I mean, I think they send us part of their check.
Come here yeah, okay.
I mean, you can count on a chunk of money.
I think I get a
coming
couple
your way.
million out of that.
Oh,
just like when the Steelers win.
do you not know how much UFC fighters make? Cody Garbrandt will be lucky to get $1 million for himself.
Sad, isn't it? Isn't that sad?
I don't know.
I think that's sad.
I do.
I think that's sad when you compare it to boxing, which in my opinion is by far an inferior sport.
Yes.
And if you were only getting $1 million in boxing, you probably suck at boxing.
Oh no, believe it or not, most guys that's a great purse even in boxing. There's just that very few that we hear about, the headliners, the Floyd Mayweathers and the
but those guys get hundreds of millions, and nobody in the UFC gets $100 million.
No, not even
Ever.
close.
It's never gonna. I mean, it probably won't ever happen.
But see, here's where it gets a little bit of opposite of that is think of 20 years ago. If you made $10,000 doing martial arts, you would have been thrilled. Do you know what I mean? Like pre-UFC, there was no outlet to make money off of martial arts at all, really. So you went from 1,000 to 5,000 to now they're making maybe potentially $1 million. So I would like to think that it's the progression, that we're just building towards it. We're just not there yet. You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a new sport. It's young. Newish.
Certainly newer than boxing.
Oh,
by hundreds of years.
Yeah, by at least 100. Yeah. At least in this country.
Yeah, well, that's really cool. Good,
I'm pretty excited
Go
about
get
it.
him, Cody. I hope you do well.
I do too. I'm cheering for you, guy.
And then we got guys I can't pronounce, and then some other people. Are these anybody who? I mean, they're all good. Don't get.
Joanna Jędrzejczyk. You actually watched her fight with me. She's that Polish girl. We watched it together. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I remember the fight. I don't know which one was which.
Yeah, she's fighting too. They call her Joanna Champion.
Okay.
Yep. And then Wonder Boy is fighting.
Oh yeah, Wonder Boy Tom. I
couldn't
read your writing. I guess upside down.
Yeah,
it looks like Vonder. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So ironically, I write things out phonetically, so I don't mess up the pronunciations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Jędrzejczyk, that's not really how you spell that, even close. Yeah, but that's all that is. And when I write things just for myself, I don't care what it looks like. But yeah, the weird thing is that I seen was Gordon Ryan join GSP's camp. And I don't understand the... was Gordon Ryan joining to help GSP or was...
Yeah, well, I mean, this is from an article in Jiu-Jitsu Times, jiu-jitsutimes.com. gordon-ryan-joins-gsps-camp.
Nice. There's the whole URL in case you want to look that up for yourself.
In case you want to know where the hell we got this. He's helping to train the former welterweight champion.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And to me, that seems strange because Michael Bisping is not known for his jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so, I mean, you would think that the only reason he would do it then is to maybe teach him some sneaky leg lock stuff, you think? You think GSP is going to try to rip off an ankle?
If GSP just, like, goes inverted and snatches a heel hook.
What would you do, man?
Oh, man.
The Eminari rolls right
Yes.
through. For anybody who's listening, don't know what an Eminari roll is. Basically, imagine me being standing and then, like, for lack of a better way to turn it, like I roll sideways, grab your ankle, continue rolling around on, like, basically on the top of my head, and then, like, end up with your leg in my armpit and, like, locking you up. It's really sweet to watch happen. And I mean that is definitely a layman's definite, like,
yes.
excellent. They're Granby rolls, and there's a couple different things that happen.
Sure.
But like, just imagine a guy like spinning around like a top on his head, grabbing a leg, and then like breaking your ankle.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
It's amazing to
if GSP does
watch.
that?
Yeah, that'd be so amazing.
I would be a fan. Like,
People
at
would
that
go.
moment,
I would too. I'd immediately. I mean,
I just feel like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like there's better people that he could have brought in to prepare for a guy like Bisping. You know, like a striker.
well, I mean, that's not to say he didn't bring them in.
Okay, maybe you're right.
Like he may well have brought them in. It's just that, you know, Wise Jiu-Jitsu Time is going to care about who the striker is.
Yeah, good call.
That they brought in.
Valid point. Valid point.
So yeah, I mean, that's really cool. You know, hopefully, you know, that makes a difference. I don't really know where that's going, other than good job,
Gordon Ryan. Way to get some cash.
Who I've never met in my life, and
yep, maybe we'll.
Yeah, he's been around for a couple seminars. It just never lined up.
Yeah,
but yeah, cool, pretty nifty.
Yeah, I thought that was weird though. What else you got there, Bill?
Oh, so the other thing we got, and this was really cool, and you actually watched a whole video about it, but we saw that Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, I'd been
UFC. He's a champ, right?
Yeah,
he's the champ.
Yep.
What lightweight?
Same as Connor. So
that doesn't help me.
Yes.
Lightweight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're in the same weight class and they both have the same belt. So ideally, if
Connor comes back, he has to fight Tony Ferguson. They have to fight each other.
No, in the old UFC they would have had.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's just because it's the UFC's.
But they're both champ, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, then they have to fight.
You would think.
I would think that'd be the first fight out of the gate.
I would too.
You know, like, hey, you got a good job on your boxing match.
Yep.
If you want to come back, you got to fight Tony Ferguson.
One would think so. I would hope so. That's what I'm hoping to see.
Tony Ferguson.
I've been saying for like 2 years.
Not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Who did he fight?
Kevin Lee.
And wins by triangle choke, right?
Sick triangle.
Yeah.
Yes, awesome triangle.
I got to pull it up and look at it. Sorry for those of you who can't see this. Let's see here. I'm sure it's on the YouTube, right?
Yeah,
I would imagine. So kind of describe it for people.
Yeah. So it was not necessarily like it was a basic triangle, but normally when you do a triangle, you pull the arm across to the other side, which creates an escape. So he actually tucked the arm on the opposite side, like in his hip pocket.
Yeah. You know what? I have seen this now.
Yeah, and then he just choked him out.
We'll bring it up. Here it is.
And the
Boom,
thing,
head kick.
And one of the things I noticed was just
boom. Getting taken down. Here it is. Boom. Let me see. Now this is like a 2-minute video, so I'm gonna fast forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can glean off of this. So I'm gonna explain it to you guys. What we got right now. Tony Ferguson's on the bottom.
The arm bar.
I'm trying an arm bar. He's actually got it relatively deep.
So deep.
Oh, he turned his body. So he turns his body. Oh, he steps across. Okay. So
see that step across?
Kevin Lee, I'm getting there. I'm going to describe this to people.
It's going to make sense here in a second.
I'm sure it will. Kevin Lee steps across. So this tells me that if you go for a triangle, he's going to try to step across as well.
Yes.
So, you got to be ready for that. So here goes now. We've got the feet back on the hips. Got an arm isolated. Trying to, anyway. There it is. Oh, hips are getting in the game. This guy just needs to make posture. Why the hell is he staying down?
Yeah, I'm not really sure either.
This guy sucks at jiu-jitsu.
That's
sit
not
up.
true. Kevin Lee's good at jiu-jitsu.
Well,
he's making idiot mistakes.
I mean, and let's just be honest. Like anybody who's sufficiently good can make somebody else look bad. But
yep.
Yeah. Got it. Oh, here it comes. He's gonna go. Yep, right through the mountain. Triangle, left it over there. I see what happened. Yeah, so he didn't pull the arm across.
He tucks the arm into his hip pocket and actually holds it there so he can't roll out. Look, see it? There it is. So now he can't do that step over escape.
And then just squeeze. Game's over.
Then it's over. But this is the part that I thought made it like kind of next level.
Yeah.
Because he used that exact same escape, and him putting that in the pocket, preventing that escape. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, he went out a little bit.
Yeah, he was out a little bit.
Yeah, nice.
It was a legit triangle.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
So, for the reason we're bringing this up, is not long after Eddie Bravo awarded him his black belt.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, for the last 2 years, I've been saying Tony Ferguson was an Eddie Bravo black belt.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea that he hadn't got it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the coolest part is in that video I was watching is Eddie Bravo was telling a story about from Abu Dhabi, where when he won Abu Dhabi against Hoyler, right?
Yeah, and this is back like 2002, 2003, something like that. A long time ago.
And John-Jacques Machado promoted Eddie Bravo to black belt at that moment and actually took his black belt off and gave it to Eddie Bravo.
That's awesome.
That's cool. And then, so Eddie Bravo then took that black belt and gave it to Tony Ferguson. Yes.
So it's like going down the lineage, huh?
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. What now, Joe Rogan? You don't have that black belt.
Yeah, you didn't get it. He didn't give it to you, Joe Rogan. You now got the second best podcast and the
second best. I'm sure there's another one that's better. It's not ours. We're not assuming this. We're not asserting it's ours. It's probably like Jocko or something like that, right?
I was saying it was ours.
Okay.
Yeah, because in my opinion, that's the best podcast. It's the most entertaining.
It's the most fun to do.
Yeah.
So that's really awesome. Congratulations, Tony Ferguson.
Turd Fergler.
Yes. Wow, why would you say that about him?
Because you planted that seed in my brain.
I know,
and
right?
Now every time
so
I hear
for anybody who
name,
doesn't know what I'm talking about, there's a Saturday Night Live skit with, it's supposedly, it's not really Burt Reynolds. It's somebody playing Burt Reynolds in the skit. And for some reason, he just keeps writing Turd Fergler as the answers to his questions as he's messing with Alex Trebek.
Nice.
This is the same skit that also has someone playing Sean Connery.
Nice.
Suck it, Trebek.
Trebek. That's fantastic.
The penis mightier.
Nice.
If you've never seen that skit, man, it is amazing.
Good.
I'll put it on Black Belt Tips, our Facebook page.
Do that for sure.
If you've never seen it, it is amazing. I'm going to do it right now as we speak. Let's go here. We're going to go to YouTube. We're going to type in. It's probably under Sean Connery skit for Jeopardy. Jeopardy. Skit. Saturday Night Live. There it is. Guaranteed. Now I'm not going to let it play tonight because. Well, just not. Anyway, what else we got, man?
Yeah, I heard a story, and I actually wanted to ask you about this.
All right.
So you probably know the answer to this. Did Pedro Sauer choke Chuck Norris?
Yes.
That really happened?
That's a real story.
Oh, that's amazing. I already thought Pedro was kind of one of the coolest guys.
I thought we talked about this when we invited him in that one day, too. I don't know if we got to it.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, and of course, I remember Pedro talking about it a few times. We've talked about it, and so my memory obviously is going to be different than his. But the way I understand it went is, and please correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody can write me in and tell me if I'm wrong. But Pedro came into the academy, and Elio basically looked at him and said, "Hey, go in the other room and roll that guy over there. He's got a fancy gi on and stuff. Go roll him and choke him and beat him up." And so he did.
Yeah.
And, he had no idea who the guy was. He said he just had a big, he just had a weird looking gi, and it was, because it's like a Tang Sudo gi or whatever. It's like one of those, it's like white gi with black pants and a black collar. And he goes, so I took him down and choked him, and then he said, "Oh, good job." And then they did it again and again. And then he said, then the guy went and rolled with Elio, and he said he was just training, and he looks over, and Elio was smacking him in the face, in mid-roll, and because that's what they did.
Yeah.
That's how they trained, striking back then.
Okay, that makes sense.
Instead of hitting each other, they would smack each other in the head and stuff.
That makes
sense.
sense.
To say, "This is me hitting you."
Cover it up.
Yeah, and long story short, Chuck Norris, for anybody who doesn't know, Chuck Norris basically is the reason that the Gracie family is in the country. He brought them over to teach seminars to the United Fighting Arts Federation, which was Chuck Norris's federation. Just kind of went from there, and that's what brought Pedro into the town and into the States. And
wow,
yeah, pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah. So when you see those memes,
yeah,
like when Chuck Norris does push-ups, he just pushes the earth down, Unless he's fighting Pedro Sauer.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah. But, he ended up... Chuck Norris is... I don't know what degree, but he's a black belt under the Machado brothers. I'm not sure I'm not sure exactly which one.
Yeah, but...
Keegan or, JJ, I don't know. But, yeah. So
that is amazing.
Yeah, he's a certified badass. Chuck Norris is. I mean, he's back then, a lot of those guys just saw the value in fighting arts. Bruce, and I'll add, even though we did a whole podcast about him, but Bruce Lee was the same way. When he saw something that was effective, he tried to learn it. And Chuck was the same way. Good. And all those guys.
But Chuck Norris really had real fights and stuff, didn't he?
Well, not really.
No.
I mean, it depends what you count as real fight. He was a full contact karate champion, world champion. But that basically, it's still point fighting.
Is it point fighting?
Yeah. So you just don't wear gloves or anything, right? So, let me see if I can find. What I'm doing is...
But you can pull up... Okay.
Yeah, so here, you can watch this and kind of narrate. This is the...
That tells you the quality of the video, and I could not even tell that. So we're just standing here in weird karate stances.
Describe what you're seeing for
the viewers. So we got a black and white video here. It's hard to determine. Is that a point?
Chuck is on the left.
Okay, so Chuck's on the left.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not what you think.
So they're touch fighting.
Yeah, but there's no...
Okay, that was a legit kick. That would have hurt if it landed
on your
kick
hard.
Abs.
I mean, you kick hard.
You eat one of those. Okay. He's throwing legit kicks. He's trying to kick this guy's face into the crowd.
Yeah.
So he's in a, what do you call that sideways stance? Just a traditional karate stance?
It's just standing there.
Okay. We'll call it a traditional karate stance for my MMA fans.
That was a pretty tough kick.
That was a nice
knocked
kick.
Chuck back. I mean, but they hit Chuck's arm. So, right, the thing that you don't see here that you would see when in the UFC is they wouldn't stop after one shot.
Yes.
They're kicking and then stopping and then finding a stance and then punching and stopping and finding, and maybe there's two, but they're not circling. They're not really it doesn't look like what you expect.
I will say that from watching this video, I would say that these guys are cracking the shit out of each other. Yeah. It's point fighting.
Yeah.
But they're hitting each other really hard.
Yeah, you're punching really hard.
Yeah, they're punching they're punching for the fences. They're kicking for the
body
fences.
shots and stuff were pretty much full contact back then. So I think there had to be certain rules for when you hit to the face and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean they you kick and punch pretty hard. But there's a back fist toward the head. That ain't gonna do nothing.
Funny thing, when we were doing striking one day, I think it was our friend Kenny caught me with one of those right on the side of the chin.
Yeah.
And it flashed me stars, surprisingly. And I mean, I don't think he was intended to knock me out with it, but just the angle of it, the way it caught me right across the tip of the chin.
Yeah.
Had that flash of silver sparklies. So I mean,
so we'll go ahead and
yeah, so it's point fighting, but they're swinging for the fences. But now, I don't think you can find a video of this of Van Damme, can you?
I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, because I don't know if Van Damme ever fought competitively.
You have a Google machine. Check it out, man.
You have a computer.
Yeah, but I'm in the process of looking at the Chuck Norris fight, dude.
Oh.
So, So I mean, what brought that up? Where'd you hear that story?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just heard it in passing somewhere, and I was like, really?
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun.
And I was like, I'm going to ask my friend Bill Jones, who, knows this guy, did that really happen?
Yeah, it really happened.
And then next time I see Pedro, I can ask him about it.
Yeah, it's fun. Pedro's got some amazing stories, dude. He's always trying to talk about and pass on all the self-defense stuff, which is kind of the big thing he's trying to talk about with Jiu-Jitsu. But what everybody misses out on are the amazing... He's just led an amazing life. But he's kidding me. Whoa, man, what are you doing to me? You're killing us.
Sorry, folks at home.
So, folks at home, I just published the Chuck Norris versus Alan Steele Grand Champion final match to Black Belt Tips on Facebook. So check that out. Give it a like.
The answer is yes. You can actually find.
Yeah, and he's doing the same thing.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing. That's what you did. That's karate fighting back then.
Okay.
Man. And until the UFC really came around, that's all they ever did.
Okay.
You know, and there's some kickboxing. Now Bill Wallace did actual kickboxing.
Superfoot.
His was actual, like, knock
Boxing
you
matches.
out kickboxing.
Okay.
And one of the things he said about it that was really tough to get was because they would do these fights, right?
Yeah.
And, like, you're taught to think that you're kind of a Superman in a lot of these martial arts. Like you can take that kick because you've trained to take that kick. You know what I mean? Like. And he said one of the toughest things to get over was, like, he would just, wind up and plow this dude, like, right in the head, and he doesn't go down.
Ooh.
You know, and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Like, that was my hardest kick, and this guy didn't fall down. Or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's when Bill Wallace was quoted as saying, like, he realized that there was more to fighting than
just,
like, it couldn't just be this, you couldn't just depend on one strike and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's how that went. And
that is an incredible story. I can't wait to see Pedro again to ask him about it.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Man. Like, you know what
I'll
I mean?
try to I'm going to see him in November, so I'll try to get it on
Okay, that'd be cool.
recorded. Maybe we'll do like a mini, maybe we'll do that as the mini.
Okay. Flash Minute with Pedro Sauer?
Yeah, well, or the Black Belt Tips mini.
That's what I mean.
Cast, yeah.
Yeah, I call it Flash Minute. I don't know where that came
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds inappropriate.
from. Yeah.
Flash minute, like
flashing
running
the
down
camera
running down the
Streaking.
street. Hey, want to see something?
I was thinking more like old school.
We're streaking.
We're going through the quad and back through the football field.
Who's going through the quad? There's more people behind me.
They're back there. I just run really fast. That's awesome.
That's a great movie, man.
Oh, for crying out loud. It's as good as it gets.
So, but I mean, like, I guess this brings us to kind of like what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. Anyway, I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on it, but
yeah,
you always hear like martial arts and there's always and this it's in jiu-jitsu right now. You hear this and in karate you hear it and it's always like, oh, we don't train for sport, we train for the streets, right? Like, and I do 100% believe that jiu-jitsu is a self-defense art. Like, I believe that.
yes.
With that said, there's a lot of people who don't train it for self-defense. There's a lot of people who don't care about that. So, like, I guess, what's your take on this whole thing? Like, like, if you had to open up your own school right now,
Okay.
what would be your takeaway? What would you be telling people? What would you be training them in?
That's a great question. Self-defense first and foremost, always. Because even with the way I approach my jiu-jitsu, it's always from a mindset of fighting.
Okay.
I got into this to be able to...
And to be clear, when we say fighting, we're not talking about like UFC fighting. We're talking
No,
about...
we're talking about like if I have to defend myself.
Okay.
To
No rules.
Protect my kids.
Okay.
I'm in a dark kitchen. Some guy just broke into my house and we're fighting for our lives.
Okay.
That's how I approach my jiu-jitsu. So
this isn't, as I put up air quotes, the street. This is someone's in your house.
So yeah, because
Okay.
I mean the reality of it is on the street you can't avoid them all.
Yeah.
But for the most part, you can avoid bad situations. You can avoid bad times a day. You know what I mean? You can.
Yeah.
But
Don't be out at 3 a.m.
walking through
and-
downtown
Yeah.
Cleveland, you might have a bad night.
Yeah.
It just happens. But somebody may break into your house and you might find you know what I mean? I approach it for those type of situations personally. But sport's fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, but my biggest hang up with this is if I practice for sport, when I find myself in that fighting for my life situation, am I going to try to roll for a berimbolo and get my face stomped in because of muscle memory? Because this is what I do when they present this. This is my response. So this is actually something I struggle with a lot mentally.
Yeah.
Like I find myself avoiding certain techniques because I don't want to ever do that when I'm trying to defend myself. What are your thoughts on that?
So yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu school. I will always. I mean, how often do you hear me talk about points?
Other than in our competition class, which is specifically geared for that, never.
Right. Almost
Never.
I won't say. I mean, I've done it a couple times because people ask, but for the most part, I talk about, like, if I'm going to make a detail, like, and we train a lot of sport. I would say, like, I believe that when we go and we high five and fist bump, that's a roll. That's sport, right? That's playing the game of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But when we're training, like, there's a lot of things I'll say, like, hey, don't forget to block this arm. Like you need to defend this arm. And that's because I honestly believe that in a lot of cases, and in most cases, what you're doing, good sound jiu-jitsu will work.
Okay.
period.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If you're applying the principles properly, people won't be able to control you properly for sport, and they won't be able to beat you up in a fight.
That makes sense.
So I think that when trained well, that's what happens.
Okay.
Now, how far does that translate is really the question. Like, will training like that get you to the UFC?
No.
Probably not. Will training like that get you a world championship in the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation? Probably not. At some point, you're going to have to specialize if you have those specific goals.
Yes.
And I think that's true of anything, right? Like, like I can train, I can take a high school football player, say, and train them on the fundamentals of blocking and tackling and stuff like that. And that's going to take them to a certain level. That might take them into college. But at some point, there's going to be certain things that need to be specialized in.
Yeah.
And worked on specifically because of the level of competition you're at. So, you know, when I grapple most people, I have no problem at all. Black belt, and not to say that I win every time, but I survive. I can do well. I'm competitive. When I go up against, say, Tom DeBlas, he murders me. You know what I mean? But he's not doing anything fancy.
No.
You know, he's just got good sound, you know, basics, plus some of the little things here and there that he trained and nuances. And let me be more specific. I've never trained him in a sport match, like never in a competition.
Okay.
I have rolled him twice, you know, kind of at a local area. So it's not even like he was going that hard.
I got you.
But you know, my point is, if we get into a match, or even when say Darren Branch, who's a Pan Am champion that I rolled it, like he knew how to use the side, like the boundaries to his advantage.
Yeah.
That's something you don't do unless you're an experienced competitor. That has nothing to do with fighting at all.
Yeah.
You know, like it doesn't.
I get what you're saying.
You know, whereas I have rolled several times with people, black belts and otherwise, where they're like, hey, let's you know, kind of anything goes. You're allowed to like slap to punch and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. And I find myself using a wall, like we get close to a wall, and I'll purposely put them in a situation where now their head's up against the wall and they can't manipulate their guard. And now I can pass and just start smacking them in the face.
Yep.
You know, and they've got to tap out because of it. You know, otherwise they're just getting smacked. You know, so I think that for the most part, doing what's right for blocking the arms, proper distance management, proper posture, proper mechanics are going to work in 90%, 99% of the situations for both until you get to the very highest levels.
Okay.
And then they still work, but you need to add on
some
other
specializations.
Like I'm going to need to know like the gi tricks. You know, like,
a perfect example is all the leg locks. There's a reason why that swept through, because it was new. Somebody added a new specialized nuance that not everybody was prepared for, and it ran through like wildfire.
Yeah, and I would say that it's still going through, but it's filtering down pretty quick.
Yeah, it's slowing down real quick.
Yeah,
I agree. And then there's the third subset that always seems to get forgotten. So we got the sport, fighting, and then the hobbyist. The guy who doesn't care about fighting. He just wants to come in, roll around, hang out with his buddies. And
well, you know
get
that guy
some
can never be a
exercise.
black belt, right?
Really?
No, I'm just messing.
I was going to say.
But there's people who think that. There's people who do believe that.
Really?
Yeah, they like I actually on one of the forums today responded to a comment from two blue belts who and it was theirs was in response to a meme, and it was a funny meme. It said, "Hey, let's roll light," and then it was like a picture of two guys just laying bloody on the mat. And they're like, you know, I don't even know what roll light means. Like, why would you ever do that? You know, how can you get good rolling light? And it's like, okay, by the time you get to black belt, you'll understand what this means, but here's what it means. And I kind of went into it. Like, you can't expect a 65-year-old guy to come in with the same intensity as someone who's getting ready
22.
for... Yeah, like a 22-year-old getting ready for a tournament. Like, why would you?
Yeah, that doesn't even make
sense. He's training, especially when he's like, it's like, why are you here? And he's like, oh, I just want to stay active.
Yeah, I just want to hang out with you guys. Yeah, you guys are cool.
And he's going to get technical. He's going to get skilled.
Yeah.
He's going to learn good mechanics. All those things are going to happen. He's never going to keep up with a 22-year-old.
Just not.
No. Does that mean that he can't beat a 22-year-old who doesn't know jiu-jitsu that's trying to hurt him in the street?
That's a different thing.
Completely different.
Yeah, it's completely
different. And we've talked about it before.
Yeah.
You know, Keith, who you know, we have a guy here who in our academy named Keith.
We talked about him several times.
He's a little over 60 years old. You know, he's in his 60s, and you know, someone rolled him. Was it you that rolled him? And you came up to me and you're like, I would not have expected him to be that good.
Yep.
Like he's a 2 or 3 straight blue belt,
and,
you know,
and
like,
earned every bit of it.
Yeah, and he doesn't roll a lot, but when he does roll, he does a good job.
Yeah, he did really good. I was impressed.
And against someone who doesn't know what they're doing, they feel like an infant, just like anybody else, like they always feel. Like I say it all the time. You don't know jiu-jitsu, and you come into a jiu-jitsu school, you feel like an infant to me.
Yeah, a perfect example is the Brothers Grimm. That's a nickname we give to these two brothers.
It's these 2 guys who come in. They're brothers. They're real good guys.
Oh, great!
But they call themselves the Brothers Grimm.
They do not call themselves that. They do not.
Yeah,
I
they
can't
do.
let you put this out in the
Yes,
universe.
it's true. Don't worry. I can edit anything I want. You say whatever.
Bill calls them the Brothers Grimm, tongue in cheek. But the perfect example is like they're both super athletic, really well put together kids. And I remember like the first time I rode Chris, he was much like Sam is now. You know what I mean? Just strong, athletic, but you could just manipulate their body so easily. And then, like, you know, a year later,
what he's saying is one of the brothers has been training for about
He's a blue belt.
about 3 years now, or 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
And the other one is brand new.
Yeah.
And you can tell that the brand new one's going to be good one day.
Really good.
But not there yet.
Not there
like
yet.
He's learning.
He looks like a baby deer when they first get born. They're trying to stand up on their legs. Just doesn't know what to do yet.
I'm sure Sam is loving this.
He will love this in 6 months when he's strangling most of the people here.
You.
Me, yeah.
Just you. That's all. Right
Just
after
me?
this, it's just you. I'm going to take this segment of the podcast.
This is going to be his motivation.
I'm going to create a sound clip and just post it on Facebook for him.
and
say,
leave all the good things I said out.
Yeah.
About how good he's going to be and stuff. Just
Yeah,
be like,
it's
he
just
looks
gonna
like
be
a baby deer.
Yeah, Sam looks like a baby
Sucks.
deer. Why is he training?
So covered in embryonic fluid.
Oh, that's disgusting. This podcast just turned really weird. Talking about embryonic fluid and
Sorry.
stuff. No, I mean, it's fine. Whatever. I mean, it goes wherever.
It goes wherever.
You never know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, but the reality is just being able to see the difference between the two. And they're both, and if anything, Sam might be slightly more athletic than his brother. You know?
Wow.
Chris says the same thing.
Yeah.
This is coming from his brother.
Dear Brothers Grimm.
They're both just going to be kicking the shit out of me.
They will.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually. I mean, they're both young. They're early 20s.
I don't even know that Sam's 20 yet.
Yeah.
He might only be 19.
Yeah, and Chris is only 21, so there you go.
Yeah, so we got 20 years of them choking people.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love every minute of it, too.
I
I hope they get so much better than I ever will
Me
be.
too.
You know, like.
I honestly hope that for everybody who comes in here. I know that seems weird.
But see, you're only a blue belt still. You know what I mean? Like, so, like, I'm a black belt and I feel that way. Like, I really want, like, I hope that one day I can't beat you.
No, well, that's coming.
No, it's probably not.
I
But,
sit
but
there
still,
and
I mean,
analyze every movement of yours and how I can capitalize on it.
there's your first mistake. Find somebody really good and analyze their movements.
Oh no,
and use that
I
against
said
them.
to capitalize on them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, oh, he did that. If I grab that,
Yeah.
he looked at me like, "Are you really doing this? I thought we were friends, man."
No, it's fine.
No,
I've done it. It's fine. I expect it. Okay. I have a target. It's literally a target.
It's red and black.
Yeah.
It's right around your waist.
Yeah. Yeah, people come in all the time. So anyway, yeah, I mean, so you've got your hobbyists, you got your sport people, you got fighting people, and in the end, I say do what you want. Now, here's where I kind of have a problem with if you don't teach jiu-jitsu in a self-defense manner. And I'm not saying self-defense like, hey, here's this book with all these self-defense moves and you have to learn them. That is our curriculum.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't think that has to be the curriculum.
No.
What I mean by a self-defense mindset is that from any given position, any technique you're teaching, if someone said, hey, what if someone tried to hit me here? Or what if someone tried to like poke me in the eyes or whatever from this situation? You have an answer. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Like, do whatever you want. You're berimboloing, fine, whatever. You know, what if they try to stomp on my head and you're like, oh, well, I just do this and they go down. You're like, oh, okay, good.
Easy.
You have the answer. Great.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. You know, is that you understand how to use it in a fight.
Okay.
And that your body will automatically do those things.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like,
and that's what I was saying about with my concern with some of the techniques that I try not to.
Yeah, and the only way to get that, quite honestly, is for you to get with someone and say, hey, you know what? Today when we roll, can we do like light slapping on? Yeah, and it's just real light slapping.
Yep.
You know, and you got to do that.
Yeah.
I honestly believe you have to do that, and if you're not doing that, then you're
Just get
probably
used
going
to
to
the...
have... Yeah, well, and just so you understand that there's striking that can happen.
And I've also
Certain
noticed that
things.
when striking becomes part of the equation, the techniques go back to the old school techniques. You see a lot of arm bars. You see a lot.
You don't see a lot of
triangles.
like seated guard and things.
Yeah,
like that.
you know what I mean. You see like jiu-jitsu, like
The distance management becomes much more important.
it's like a different thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, it is a little different. It's different when you complete sweeps. You know, when you can complete a sweep simply by punching someone in the face because the hand that they're posting with is all they got.
Yeah.
And
Bang,
then they bring that
bang,
up as you hit
bang.
them, and they
There goes
fall
your
over.
sit-over sweep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know, like it's a little different. But
Yeah.
To me, it's not like. Yes, there's techniques, and yes, I'm very well versed at them, and I can show you how to use them for anybody who doesn't believe that they work. They do, but that's not what it's about.
Let me clarify what I'm saying too. Do I think a purple belt who is a strictly sport jiu-jitsu guy gets in a fight with a guy who doesn't know anything? The sport jiu-jitsu guy's going to win, most likely.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Probably 99 out of 100.
Yes, that's my thoughts too.
Yeah.
But it's just, I guess I'm just afraid to develop bad habits.
Yeah, it's fine.
There'd be nothing worse than train jiu-jitsu, in my mind anyway, for 7 years, and then try some stupid rolling heel hook and just get my face stomped into the concrete. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It just, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, I mean, so do what you want in the end. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I want you to be happy. I want you to pass jiu-jitsu on. I just hope that most people can pass it on and understand how to use it in a fight. Like that's what I want.
Okay.
Whether you're doing, you know, wrist grab defense and all that stuff, you know, that's on you. And chances are you've got some sort of answer for it.
Yeah.
You know, it may not be the answer that we're using specifically in the Gracie curriculum, but it may be an answer. You know,
I'll be honest with you. I think wrist grab defense is...
It's actually much more useful than people think.
Yeah. It may be in the standing sense that, like, we practice them, but when you're in a tussle on the ground...
That's why I always show.
And I'm trying to punch you, there's a good chance you're going to try to grab my wrist. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, think about how I always show. We teach these, and then I say,
Yep.
oh, by the way, here's where you're using this every single day.
Yep.
You know, I do wrist grab defenses into arm drags all the time.
Yeah.
Guys grab my wrist. I grab their tricep, go elbow to elbow, pull them through, and now I'm on their back.
Yep, and it sucks.
Nice knowing you.
Yeah.
You know, like...
So if you've never had a 260-pound black belt on your back, you're not living. It is not a pleasurable experience. All right, you got anything else?
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something.
Okay. Say we're coming up on an hour, aren't we, Al?
All right, I don't know, 47 minutes. Why are you so worried about it, man? Oh, you got to poop.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
Today on the podcast, Ed poops.
Oh, no.
No. All right, so this is the last thing I've got.
Okay.
So it's this. And I pulled this up while we were talking about this whole thing, because you actually made a statement that I tend to agree with, but is not completely agreed upon. And that is, you said that you think that a purple belt's going to beat up pretty much anybody that you know doesn't train.
Okay.
All right, so Rener Gracie actually speaks directly about that. So I'm going to play that clip,
Okay.
and then we'll talk a little bit about it and see if we agree.
Okay.
This is a YouTube video.
Put it this way, let me start by saying Jiu-Jitsu principles haven't changed since day one. What made my grandfather effective against Fred Ebert or Vladek Zabisco, or what allowed him to survive for 13 minutes against Kimura, is the same. What is that? Survival mindset, efficiency of energy, natural body movements. What is changing is now that sport Jiu-Jitsu has become such an emphasis for a lot of people, you have two guys who have no consideration for a street fight, no consideration for punch protection, who are grappling each other. And when there's no punching, there's millions of things that can happen based on gis and lapels and grab and twist and crazy different guards that are not street applicable, but they're very sport. So most of the ridiculous growth has been in the sportive realm because there's no limit in terms of keeping it real. You don't have to worry about keeping it real. Just grapple. And that's fine. And that's very fun, and there's a lot to learn there, and it's beautiful. But my concern is that if that sport growth continues and people don't remember that that is different than street, it's not the same. People learning sport are being confused in thinking that they're getting ready for a fight, but they're not. It's possible, today in your sport, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world, that you get a purple belt or more and go out in a fight and get beat up? How? Sport Jiu-Jitsu, the distance of a sport Jiu-Jitsu match is different than the distance of a street fight. In sport Jiu-Jitsu, you can be a butterfly guard, grabbing some sleeves. If you do that in a street fight, you get knocked out. In a street fight, you have to close the distance. And you have to manage the distance more effectively between you and the bad guy. Because in a street fight, the only thing that matters is distance management for punch protection. You see Royce in the original UFC, he's like this. Why was he doing this? Distance management. He was measuring stick. He wasn't trying to punch anybody. He was trying to say how far he is.
Yeah.
So that he knew when it's time to clinch. And once he
understood.
clinches and goes to the ground, what does he do? He stays so close. How long? As long as it takes.
I met in
Just
1993,
a snake
man, when I was a 13-year-old
before you know it,
boy.
boom. But learning sport jiu-jitsu does not prepare you for that. It's totally different. That's my concern with the growth of the tree.
So do you think that at some point the sport of jiu-jitsu and the competitive level will actually take over the core of jiu-jitsu that you're rather?
No, there's not as long.
For anybody who couldn't hear the question was, do you think that sport jiu-jitsu will take over the whole kind of jiu-jitsu world? But I mean, really what I wanted to come back to and circle back around, because when you said that, and again, I agree, I tend to agree with what you said.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily, it's hard, because I don't necessarily disagree with what Henner's saying.
I don't either.
But, because I don't think it's universally true, though, is my problem.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very individualized.
Yeah, but I think that on the whole, the number of purple belts who are going to get beat up in a fight is much lower than what he's making it sound.
Okay.
Like, I just don't see it happening. And you know what? And the thing is, I've grappled with several high-level competitors, but I can honestly say that I've never asked them, and I probably wouldn't think to ask them to, hey, why don't we glove up and see how it goes?
Yeah.
I just feel like I'd be being disrespectful. But, it would be an interesting thing, and maybe the next time some of those guys come in, we'll ask them. So, that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah. I like I said, I think in most circumstances a purple belt would beat up an untrained guy.
Yeah.
But I actually agree with what Henner's saying as well.
Yeah, I guess what I don't think is going to happen is, especially like out on the street, it's no gi, right? So I don't see just someone just like sitting up and trying to play like pulling guard, sitting up and trying to play like a spider guard or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I guess it could happen. I don't know.
That goes back to that.
Seems the idea just seems so very foreign to me.
Yes,
like it
it's
just seems
foreign to us, but
inconceivable to quote the Princess Bride that someone would do that. But maybe they would. I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to that fear of muscle memory. Like we embrace muscle memory so much, but I feel like if we train our muscles the wrong way with the wrong memories in a situation, you know what I mean? You might do the wrong thing.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. The best we can do is the next time, some of our higher level guys come in and say, hey, you know what, let's put on some gloves, or just, if you slap around, slap or whatever.
Just touch.
Yeah, to see how it goes then.
Just as an experiment.
Because in the end, that's really what I care about.
Me too.
Is that I know how to use it for fighting.
Yep.
But anyway, that's all I had on that subject, and how did we even get on that? We were talking about hobbyists and all that stuff. Man, we really got sidetracked there, huh?
I think that was very appropriate banter for what we were talking about.
All right, whatever. Banter yourself, buddy.
I'm about to.
Watch your words. Watch your mouth. So,
banter.
Anyway, Ed, I think that's all we got for the day. What? How can people get a hold of us if they want to talk to us?
So definitely can find us on YouTube.
Oh, yeah?
At, what was it, Top Level Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Okay, blackbelttips@gmail.com if you want to email us.
Yep.
Black Belt Tips on Facebook.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting one?
No, I don't think so. I think you got them. I do believe there is.
blackbelttips.com.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget the website.
And there's a Twitter account somewhere
Is there?
that I never use. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine.
I tried so hard to get involved in Twitter. It just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. I really should, because I think a lot of people respond more to it. But all right, man. Well, I will talk to you later. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. We're out.
Out.